Good afternoon, Americans. This is your favorite alien here on the afternoon of Thursday, March 14th, 2024, with a special bulletin here, an answer to Senator Schumer's remarks today. Senator Schumer made some interesting remarks about the Israel, Gaza, and Palestinian situation, and a special, how would you say, stubbornness about Prime Minister Netanyahu from Egypt. Well, Mr. Schumer, this is in response to your remarks where you called for a two-state solution. Man, do you have watermelons for brains in there. And you say the Palestinians, Palestinians. Boy, that word doesn't exist anymore, Senator Schumer. Let me give you a reprieve and tell you, as I told my viewers on this channel before, the Israeli-Palestinian situation is the same thing that happened to India back in 1947, where the United Nations partitioned British India into three parts. British India, then they moved all the remaining, as they called them, Muslims to the west side, and there were some on the eastern side of British India, so they squished them into this little thing on the east side. The west side they called West Pakistan, the east side they called East Pakistan. And that was a two-state solution. Okay, Pakistan, west and east. Yeah. But the question that I have, Senator Schumer, is the same question I'm going to ask you about the Israeli situation here. In the Indian situation, the United Nations, which are a joke, by the way, voted to partition India this way. Now, there is 1,000 miles of territory between East Pakistan and West Pakistan. And the people are different on the East Pakistan side than they were on the West Pakistan. So, question. The East Pakistanis were a little bit worse off because the land was terrible on the east side of India. I don't know why they partitioned them that way and why they created the land that way. Heck, and why didn't you put them over in Kashmir in the first place? Huh? Oh, well, India wanted that. Yeah, the Hindus, wanted Kashmir. So, it's like the Israelis and the Palestinians, same type of situation. The Muslims were second banana to the Hindus. Yeah. Okay, so I get that mess. So you created East Pakistan and West Pakistan. Now, East Pakistan is a disaster. And it caused mutual wars between India and Pakistan. And then a war between the two Pakistans in 1971. The question was, how can you make war with 1,000 miles of a hostile territory in between your two guys? Yeah. When the two people in Pakistan didn't see eye to eye because they were, almost 30 years difference there? 25 or so years, 1947. So you're looking at almost 25 years later. 1971, wow. Okay. But the outcome of that was, whether it happened or not, this was under Indira Gandhi's direction of India. India kind of looked at East Pakistan. It wasn't a threat to them. The Pakistanis were so poor, East Pakistanis, and They just wanted to live their own lives. So there was a thing by the United Nations that adopted, and the war ended with East Pakistan becoming Bangladesh. And today, Bangladesh is still around, poor guys, but to still suffer from being the poorest country in Asia and living in a land that nobody should have put them in there in the first place. You ever been to Bangladesh, Senator Schummer? No? Well, I suggest you go over there and see what I mean, okay? But that's because the United Nations and the British decided, okay, we'll put you Muslims over here, and we put you others over there. Yeah. Well, a year later, they did the same stupid mistake with the Palestinian situation, except that they created two states, okay? They created Israel and Transjordan. That's a two-state solution, Mr. Schummer. Do you understand me? But then they had, you have little Arabs here on the Israeli side. Let's put them over here, take them off the Israeli territory, and put them in the West Bank. Oh, and we'll include Jerusalem there too, because we don't want to give it all to Israel because it's a pain in the neck. Sure, Christians were growling, the Muslims were growling, and the Jewish were growling about Jerusalem. Jerusalem should be an open city. It should never apply to all three. But you never took that into consideration. Okay, so you created the West Bank, and you said, we'll give this to Jordan under the Transjordan territory. Oh boy, did the Jordanians like that, huh? And we'll create Jordan, let's see, there's a family that rules Iraq, so we'll make them rulers of Jordan. Yeah. And the Ba'ath Party, okay, okay, Ba'athi Party came in, yeah, and the family, King Faisal and all the rest of them, So, at the time, the king of Iraq and the king of Jordan were uncles or something like that, anyway. And Egypt, well, they got stuck with the Gaza Strip over there, where they we'll take the Arabs out of the Israeli territory, move them here to the West Bank, and move them over there to the Gaza Strip, and give them to the Kingdom of Egypt. Oh, yeah. Can you see Mr. King Farouk of Egypt? Do we really want these guys? No. Or, Jordan, do we need these guys over here? No. Yeah. There was internal instability here. And therefore, it caused a big war when you called the partition in 1948, and by early 1949, the Israelis had won. The territory was marked. And another war in 1956, and different clashes in between the two wars. And by 1967, the Israelis launched their own war, saying, okay, we've had enough of this mess. We'll take over the West Bank and we'll take over Gaza. And they did. And, the Golan Heights. Oh, goody, we get those too. Yep. Mm-hmm. But then the Israelis did something stupid. They tried to manage both things, but hey, and this is something you should know, Mr. Schummer, it didn't work out because Mr. Anwar Sadat, after Mr. Nasser kicked the bucket in 1969, all he wanted was his territory of the Sinai back, yeah. Oh, because they took the Sinai too, remember? Yo-ho! So Mr. Anwar Sadat said, okay, the Soviet Union, can you help us here a little bit? We gotta get this. And the Soviet Union wanted too much, and he told him to go stick it in 1972. Because you know the Soviets, I mean, even under Putin today, the Russia's still the same. We want a little finger. No, we'll take the whole hand. Thank you. Good. Yeah, well, Mr. Anwar Sadat wasn't about to do that. So he went it on his own. And he, poor King Hussein got brought into this mess. King Assad of Syria. Oh yeah, we want the Golan Heights back, and we go there. Well, the Yankee War started in 1973, and Israel was caught with his pants down. Ooh, boy, I wonder how that looked. Woo! Anyway, but it soon recovered under Colonel Sharon, and if Mr. Anwar Sadat would have been alive today, he could tell you about Colonel Sharon. It made his undoing, as he would say later. Yes, and it cost him his life in 1981 too, boy. Woo! Because he had to watch the Israelis take a huge Third Army of Egypt and encircle it. And oh boy, okay, we cry uncle here. War's over. Yeah, thank you, uncle. Yeah, But the Americans forced the Israelis to give up the Sinai, and they actually had a disengagement in 1979 where Egypt controlled the Sinai and got all the way up to the Gaza Strip. Yeah. But still, you had the Palestinians on the West Bank and the Palestinians in Gaza, as you call them. I call them the Gazans and the West Bankers because they're not Palestinians. They're two different people. It's been over 75 years of this stupid mess, and it became, instead of a 3-state solution, it's now going to become a 5-state solution. So what I'm saying, Mr. Schummer, is the people that should be involved in this are the states that voted for partition on the United Nations should vote this problem out. And the negotiations should be handled by Qatar and Saudi Arabia. United States should be out. Russia should be out. China should be out. France and England, because they were a pain in the neck, guys, should be out of it too. And Jordan, the king of Jordan today, King Abdullah, should tell the West Bankers, you are your own country. And the President Sisi of Egypt should tell the guys in Gaza, you're going to be your own country, with 2 exceptions. You got to get rid of Hamas in the Gaza and the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. And you must open your country as a Switzerland type countries on both sides. And Israel will pledge never to invade either side. Jerusalem will be made an international city by the United Nations. And Tel Aviv will officially become the Israeli capital. Because Jerusalem is an international city because of 3 religions calling it home. And the United Nations administer it as an international city, not by Israel, not by Egypt, not by Jordan, and definitely not by the Palestinians. Okay? That is the way I would say to do this mess, Senator Schumer. This is your favorite alien saying, oh, but you guys got watermelons for brains. Good day.